Viva God of justice, viva! Down with apartheid, down! Down with apartheid, Israeli states, down! Down with the suffering of the Palestinian, down! Forward with the liberation of the Palestinian people, forward! Forward with the liberation of the Palestinian children, forward! Down with the metal dictators, down! Amanda! Amanda! My brother Nazim Adam, thank you so much for such an invitation into BDS comrades, Kwara and Mohammed, and it is really an honor to be invited to this special occasion. And I am just so honored. Actually, I don't think I'm a keynote speaker tonight. I'm just a respondent speaker to our keynote speaker. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Jana. People like Jana, they remind us that young people are not the leaders of tomorrow, but they are leaders of today. She is one of our most influential leaders in this world. She is my inspiration. The first time I read about her, I said, Reverend Ndlazi, you need to get off your backside and do something for justice in this world. There is no excuse for not working towards justice. If young people can have a philosophy that says a bullet that does not kill you makes you stronger, what is our excuse as South Africans? She is my hero. Bassam Tamimi, it's also an honor to have you stay with us. And I was also honored last year to visit the land of Palestine and visited some of the places and the villages, and a lot of suffering that we saw there. It goes beyond the words and any imagination that we can have as human beings. The PSA, the Palestinian Solidarity, our Mulana Suleiman Ravat, he didn't make it, but in his absentia, Comrade Mohammed Desai, as I've mentioned, Brother Michelle Hunter, you are a beacon of hope for us that indeed the Palestinians will be free one day. I notice my elders, the MEC, Ishmael and many others are here as well. It is such an honor, sir, to see you present and gracing this occasion. All protocol observed. Nazim said I can preach for 3 hours, but I will be gracious. I will save the 2 hours, 50 minutes for the future so that I can be invited again. The title is God of Justice at the Gate of Al-Aqsa. There is a passage in the Old Testament, it's from the book of Psalms. It says, how blessed are those who keep justice, who practice righteousness at all times. Psalm 106 verse 3. How blessed are those who keep justice, who practice righteousness at all times. What we see at the Al-Aqsa in the Holy Land happening today is not something that started yesterday, but it is just another stage of this oppressive state that is oppressing the Palestinian people. My brothers and sisters, the reason why I'm here today is as a Christian in this occasion. I did not come here to support the Muslim event, but I came here to join my brothers and sisters who are spearheading and struggling for liberation of all God's children, who happen to be members of the Islam religion. Because you and I, we share the same zeal for justice. That is why, as a Christian, I happen to stand here to join hands, as Jana told us, so that we can fight against this oppressive state. Tonight, you will be pleased, my comrade Kwara, that I did not only come alone, but I also come with another officer of the Congregational Church in South Africa, Dr. Sbusiso Dludla. He's here with me tonight. As well as my colleague Shahida Kuris and my brother Musa. I always like when people call our office and Shahida will say, "This is Shahida Kuris, how may I help you?" There's always a pause. They are calling the head office of the United Congregational Church, a Christian church office in South Africa, and the person who's picking up the phone is Shahida Kuris. And then sometimes she refers them to Musa. I just enjoyed it. It's like those people get confused about Barack Hussein Obama, who is a member of the UCC, a Christian church. They can't understand it. It's the same people and the same issue that people cannot understand, that the struggle of the Palestinians is not about Islam versus Judaism. It is about all God's children in this earth who are not happy, people who are upset about the suffering of the Palestinian people who are created in God's image. There is no way, whether you are a Muslim or Hindu or a Christian, anywhere in the world, that you can rest and relax when the Palestinian people still suffer. Their land taken away. When one child is found guilty, whether he or she is dead or alive, the Israeli government, they will demolish their entire house for the whole family. Children prevented from going to school. People need medical help. They cannot access hospitals. People who are very young and bright in the future, they are denied the right of movement. They cannot go to schools. They cannot go to other countries and go and study. People in South Africa will complain about load shedding. In the land of Palestine, the government of Israel has a permanent load shedding on people. We cannot relax. There is a saying in Africa that says, "Umuntu ungumuntu ngabantu." A person is a person because of others. I am today, and I'm a free South African because other people, including the Palestinians, they were so zealous and eager and prepared to support our struggle as South Africans. Therefore, there is no reason why we cannot support the Palestinian struggle for freedom. That is why each and every Christian in this country, each and every good Muslim in this country, each and every Hindu in this country, or Shambe, everyone who loves peace and justice needs to support the Palestinian struggle, because umuntu ungumuntu ngabantu. The South African Council of Churches has challenged us by reminding us about the See Judge Act. Bishop Mpumlwana has said, what we have seen, we cannot unsee. We have already for many years, 50 years of occupation and more, we have already seen the suffering of the Palestinian people. There are people who are living in an open-air prison. There is no reason that we cannot do something about it. Whoever has not done anything, you are very late. Because what we should have done it yesterday. We need to fight. We need to do everything in our power, whether we are Christians, we are Muslims, business people, poor people, rich people, educated people, illiterate people. Everybody can do something to bring down this monster called Israeli state. Because it's not a government that is for the people, by the people, but it is the government that is for bigotry. It's a government that supports apartheid, keeping people apart, keeping people oppressed and divided. We as South Africans, of all cultural backgrounds, social backgrounds, we have a biblical duty, we have a Quran duty, we have a spiritual duty to fight against the oppression of the Palestinian people. In conclusion of my 3 hours, I would like to conclude, my brother Adam and my fellow brothers and sisters, by saying that what we see in Israel, we really, really cannot ignore. What we have seen, we cannot unsee. The question is what are we going to do about it? The attack is not about an injustice, it is about God's children. We are all created equally in God's image. Simply because some call God Allah and others Yahweh or Jehovah, Modimo, it does not mean they are not God's children. What we see happening over there at Al-Aqsa Mosque is not unnecessary, but it also shows us that that is a reflection of a politically egotistic state which is hell-bent on colonial bigotry. And we cannot allow that to continue, because an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. We were told by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. many years ago. There are people who are perishing in prison, such as our leader, our Mandela of Palestine, Marwan Barghouti. And there are many other Palestinian prisoners who are still languishing in prison, and we cannot ignore them. Recently, they had a hunger strike for many days. And as a former political prisoner myself, I know what a hunger strike is like. I've been on a hunger strike for 14 days. And I can assure you, after 11 days, we were really hoping somebody was going to say, you just need to stop now. We couldn't stop because we couldn't retreat. But we couldn't continue because we could see death coming. And thanks to people like Archie Kumede, who was our lawyer at the time, who was able to negotiate a way for us. Even though he thought he was negotiating for our rights, but I have to confess, for me it was more about negotiating a way out of the hunger strike. I was very saddened when the hunger strike went on and on and on, and we know that people can die from hunger strike. We saw in Northern Ireland, one of the greatest leaders who could have contributed so positively in the freedom and human rights of this day, he ended up dying on the hunger strike in the 1980s. So we know people can die from hunger strikes, not from being thrown from the 10th floor of John Foster, like the lies we've been told. People can die from hunger strike. My brothers and sisters, next time somebody's on hunger strike, we better all join them. Not only for a few days, but we need to raise the voice, because when somebody goes on a hunger strike, they have already sacrificed their lives. They are already prepared to die. We cannot ignore those. My brothers and sisters, the Palestinian people's struggle for freedom, it is my struggle, it is your struggle, it is our struggle, because we are all serving a God of justice, and umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. A person is a person through others. Viva Palestine, viva! Viva people of Palestine, viva! Viva all churches that are supporting Palestine, viva! Viva all good justice-loving people, viva!